Hello and welcome to the Evolve Pipedrive podcast, where we talk all things Pipedrive, sales, apps, and the Pipedrive marketplace. My name is Bruce Bignell. I'm the sales director here at Evolve, and today it's my great pleasure to be joined by Pekka Huttunen, the CEO at Eventilla. Today, Pekka is going to take us through the Eventilla platform and how it integrates with Pipedrive and some of the user journeys within the platform. Over to you.
Thanks, Bruce. It's good to be here. So, going straight into the matter, Eventilla is event management software working from the cloud that helps marketers and event managers to run and automate their events, whether they are live events where people actually meet, or online, or whether they are hybrid. And we take the data out of the events and put it into platforms where it can be reused by those people who need only that specific information. This typically means that, okay, we need to get the leads into the salespeople straight away. We need to get some kind of financial data and into accounting. We need to get marketing information into the marketing team, for example, marketing automation purposes and statistic stuff, and all things related to that. Our beef and butter is making the software to look and breathe according to the client's brand. So we always host them in clients' URLs and mimic their design and fonts and look and feel on their pages. Typically, what happens with events is that you guide people to your event pages, whether you guide them through an invitational email or SMS from Eventilla, or you use your marketing automation or a printed invitation. It always leads to your event landing page. This is for today's demo, the Friday webinar. We have event infos, how to join things, and so on. Or it can look according to the client's brand, whether it's Martech Nordics, where you can buy actually tickets, um, or whether it's you guide them through your own event calendars and filter out what kind of events you want to have, whether it's on your website using the API to fetch the events to your website natively, or you can use these kind of plug-in calendar modules produced by Eventilla, where you can have calendars or grid views or list views and filters out. But eventually you end up in an event landing page. Like in this case, this is Qatar National Library. Let me switch to something more familiar. In this case, where you have event page, tickets remaining, maps, etc. And then you're going to go and register to the event. And we're still running in even though this is live in Eventilla, we're running in clients' domain alias and all things. Nothing here hints Eventilla unless there is a small hint powered by. That's an optional. You fill in your personal information, you get your confirmation emails, calendars, reminders, etc., and you're all good. After the event, you would get surveys, again branded accordingly to the event automatically, and also the survey part, including online survey reports, then to your stakeholders. That's still on your domain alias and according to your brand. So just a hint, webinar attendance, and we can then choose what to do with this information. Let's put like this. And show and well, optionals, phone line, questions, additional
And all of this is
items.
customizable, right? So you could have these questions, different buttons, and
Different buttons. These can come from your form
yeah,
templates. These can have monetary value, as this has real-time remaining issues. Do I want to subscribe? Yes, confirm, all these things. And all these can be automated from event to an event. Like in this case, this has calendar file that's coming up to my event. And as I'm hooked up, this is a webinar, so this would be actually integrated to our company Zoom. So this will actually create not just an individual Zoom registration. So I have my unique link under my name for the Zoom. It actually goes and generates the Zoom webinar for me into the platform. And then in this case, transforms all this information that is needed into Pipedrive. So when we have the Friday webinar here, I can start by copying this. It's just the quick wizard. Give us a name, language versions, place. Well, this is a webinar, but for demo purposes, I gave it a location, tags for different purposes, content, different tabs. Then you could have different kind of tickets in that sense. So these can be like monetary tickets that you actually sell on the platform using your own payment gateways. So we don't take a fee out of your tickets that you sell through the platform. So it's your sales. So we operate a bit differently than others in that sense. You have a bunch of options what you want to do, but for example, for these event purposes, we have the forms. I can choose which forms I have, copying data fields, but I can then decide which type of data do I want to collect with this event in this case. And I had these options here. And for example, I can then choose, well, there's protected and so on, but I can then decide, for example, that, okay, I want to block this field to going through to Pipedrive. For example, if it's a piece of sensitive data or something that is not really needed in Pipedrive. For example, something dietary or something that is only needed for a short period of time, or something that is not GDPR wise to transfer to another system, I can just block that piece of information from updating into the CRM. Or I can then block the whole event from going there. So if I have internal events, if I have somebody visiting the company that it's not going to be a marketing lead or sales lead anyways, maybe it's not that good idea to overwhelm our CRM system with those kind of data that we don't really actually have an actual need.
Yeah.
With this, I actually do like Pipedrive because the pricing doesn't change in that sense, that how many contacts do I upload into Pipedrive when comparing to some other competitors where people are really scared to upload relevant information there because the pricing goes up really quickly when you have a certain amount of contacts.
Yeah.
So from their point of view, it's really important to block as many contacts as possible, which sounds a bit weird, especially from marketing perspective.
Yeah, that actually came up quite heavily end of 2001. Pipedrive changed a lot of their pricing, and there's a huge push from a lot of the Pipedrive community to say, don't charge us for more contacts that we've got on our CRM. They went down the line of charging the number of live deals in your pipeline versus contacts, which kind of makes more sense, right? Just because as a business, I might be a small business and I've got 2,000 contacts. Why should I be charged more than I don't know. It doesn't really make sense from the other competitors.
Yeah, I understand it. It comes from the marketing side, from other platforms that
Yeah.
that email marketing and marketing automation systems typically have invoiced based on your volume.
Yes.
And the volume in those are contacts, because you need to actually send emails. So it comes from there. So
Yeah.
in that sense, but I do like Pipedrive's approach to this much more. And then I have, for example, this event, I can link these Zoom webinars. We support Teams, we support GoToWebinars, webinar jams, different platforms. So I can link this to an existing Zoom webinar that I may have created before, or I can then go and click and order the Zoom to create me a webinar for this event. And if I just copy paste and past event or a event template that I use, for example, for our webinars. We have a template event which has all the relevant data in their place. I just change the date, the topic, maybe the host, and create a new one. So the automations create everything for me. For example, welcome to our event. Like I have here pre-scheduled emails. Hi, first name. You have still plenty of time. We start in 60 seconds, and all of these are customized based on the data coming directly from the event. So in this case, event name, event locations, and those kind of things, the Zoom webinar link, and also based on the person who is participating. So first name, any details given during the registration that we know of, and so on. And I can have as many or as a few these kind of personalized things, and I can filter these out before the event. So thank you for attending, or sorry we missed you, or pleased to have you, these kind of things. All these can be scheduled and then automated to become for the next event, including, for example, if we have some kind of budgeting features here. So for example, not relevant to webinars, but if this is a live event, I can budget, for example, sales or revenues that I'm expecting per event or per guest. And then same thing with costs. So then I can see, okay, what's the bottom line, and for example, if I'm arranging these kind of paid events, I can already see that, okay, how's my autumn gonna look like, and what's my budgeting forecast looking like for the year. And then from event reports, I can see stuff, at least sharing reports, creating badges, creating certificates, and then anonymizing data automatically or manually after the events, whether do I need them in this system or not, creating invoices and those kind of stuff. But what's really interesting here is these all have to do with event when we are inside Eventilla. So we create events, we copy events, we create surveys, communications with the clients, and all things related to the actual event in that sense. But what makes it, or surveys, have a little bit glimpse of our new user interface, where we have, for example, then surveys related to events, or you can use it as a standalone, like in this webinar, creating events and previewing and all things still related to this actual event, and getting the stuff and having here live reports and so on, how did it go, and changing different reporting style and so on. But what's really interesting here is that when we move into Pipedrive, so now we take the interesting stuff from the events, which from Pipedrive perspective is the sales leads. So we have in our Pipedrive integration, which is available in the marketplace, we map out all the people that we already know. It's people that we already know. It's not a sales lead. So we save them as persons under the organizations that we already have in Pipedrive, and we update the given contact information that we want to map out. Like in our case, we want to update the phone number, the job role, and marketing permission in that case. And it shows that, okay, I did register, which other field information did I give, and in this case, and for demo purposes, I already marked that I actually attended this event. So we update it live, and whether do we get the trigger for attending event, whether it's coming directly from Zoom automatically, that hey, who actually participated in our webinar, we get that automatically and update it into Eventilla and then into Pipedrive, or is it manually clicked that okay, these people came to the event, or are they using our, for example, our app that reads the QR codes from tickets? In any case, that information is live updated to Pipedrive.
Yeah.
Or if somebody has to cancel. But if we have a lead that is a new person that we don't know of, or it's from a company that we don't have a success, we don't have a deal that has been won. So those people we use as a trigger to trigger a new lead. So we have John Doe here that is from example company and so on. And that's a lead because we don't have a successful deal under those. So we don't clutter the lead inbox with people who are not ready to buy in that sense.
Yeah.
So we see directly, okay, these people came from these events and so on. And we know that, okay, they are not already existing clients.
So that source API there, is that with the native integration that you have on the marketplace that's now pushing?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Currently, the Pipedrive doesn't give us an option to say change the source
Yeah.
as it's a native integration.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of downside in this case.
Yeah.
And the integration has been like this kind of ongoing project. So iteration after iteration, getting better and better
Yeah.
in that sense. So
I think that the API and the leads section of Pipedrive is, has got a lot better in the last 6 months. Wasn't great before that.
yeah, we had to do a little revamp to the integration during the summer
Yeah.
because we got a little bit better support from the API there.
Yeah. Nice.
In that sense, but we don't bring all the clutter into the Pipedrive. So all the relevant information that is relevant only to events, it's going to stay on the event platform.
Mm-hmm.
So the event professional that you might not want to put in your CRM or do those kind of things inside CRM, they are native and staying in Eventilla and launching the events, editing participants, sending out communications, doing their event management magic.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just keep your salespeople then on Pipedrive where they belong and do the sales related things because they get the live updates of people coming to events straight to the CRM.
Yeah. Nice. And I guess you could label them up with the event or the campaign that you've run against that, right? So whether that's in person or webinars or whatever it was, you could the salesperson then would know what event they've been at, right? But versus
Well, the event comes from the event source,
okay,
so we
understood.
bring out the
Yeah.
name any case here.
Yes, I see. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, but typically with different CRM solutions, we also support different kind of campaigns or something else, so we can update the integration with those kind of things if there is need for that kind of information. But typically, for a sales rep perspective,
Yeah.
it's I need to know from which event they are coming from, who they are, and what information did they give during their registration to an event, because people are much more open to give out some personal information during event registration than they are compared to, for example, if they register to trade fair or download a white paper or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they are getting an actual return for their investment of their personal data, is that they're getting a return. So the event content, whether it's whatever type of the event it is, you typically tend to give your real contacting information, your actual working email, because that's where you're going to get your ticket or event confirmation, or however you want to label that. And that's how you get it updated information back into the Pipedrive. And then you can tag those fields and map that, okay, which is a job role and so on from the event form. and that's something that you do once, and then just reuse the form or the form template that you have in your event management tool.
Brilliant. So from the integration standpoint, this can be found on the Pipedrive marketplace, and it's as simple as click to install, and so then you would have to have an Eventilla account, right? So obviously you'd want to get your own personal demo of that. So before you, but that's how you'd have to have the Eventilla platform, and then
Yeah,
you would integrate the.
it's an add-on to Eventilla tool in that sense.
Yeah, cool.
So everything starts with having an event management, and then upgrading that with integrations. Whatever systems do you wish to use?
Yeah.
But then the Pipedrive is from the marketplace.
Perfect. Okay. Is there anything else you want to show me from the Pipedrive integration piece right now?
Well, it's pretty simple forward tool. You get what you actually need from sales perspective directly into Pipedrive. Nothing more, nothing less in that sense, and you get your data updated there whenever you arrange events, which is always a great touch-up point with your prospects.
Yeah. And from the salesperson, the leads inbox is great now because you can just call next activity. You can, yeah, it's all a very much usable tool. You don't have to jump around. It's a nice piece there.
Yeah, and you still get to collect all the information from your existing clients, but those do not clutter your lead inbox.
Yeah.
They go under the personal data and under the organization. So if you have new users or new people within the company that is already your client, if you have selected so, it's only going to be stored under that organization. So it's not a valid lead anymore.
Yeah. Nice. Well, Pekka, thank you for taking me through the platform. Really, really interesting, super powerful, and how easily it integrates with Pipedrive. We'll be sure in the description below to have a link for get your own personal demo if you want to check out the Eventilla platform. And I think we'll also have a code for a discount for if you do sign up as well. So, Pekka, thank you for your time and walking me through the platform.